Oh god, the music's so loud. I don't understand why, but on my headphones, the sound is just all... Like, I've got to have everything down to like 3 or 4% volume. Otherwise, I just cannot hear anything on Discord.
Have you turned down your overall Discord volume in your
No.
sound settings?
Isn't there some Windows settings that you can say when you're running a voice chat program that it devolumizes the other sound by 80 or 50?
It's not changing when I got it running. It's just that when Discord is running, it's really quiet in comparison to everything else. It's almost like it's being normalized in comparison to everything.
Okay.
But I wasn't aware that I was running anything that did that. I'll have a look. Maybe I am, but...
There's a bunch of settings in voice for Discord that let you essentially mute everything else, mostly.
But that's the problem. Discord is the quietest application. My games and other applications are all way louder.
Back.
What's your output volume set to? In Discord.
Loud?
Like all the way up?
I believe so.
Yeah, mine's at 195%. So maybe I had that same issue and just went way overboard.
Oh god, my character's at 2 hit points. I'm
But
a
you're in a
bear.
bear.
Yeah, but if I come out of it with a whack, I'm probably gonna die again. I should go find my notebook. I'll be back.
Get ready for total party kill.
It's alright, I've already picked my name if I die.
Is it Izzy again? Is
No.
not a paladin?
It'll be a surprise for when we die. You're muted, Daddy.
So I don't want to die though. That's sweet loot.
Neither do I. I've invested time into Izzy.
I just realized I stuffed up the Twitch title again. What is this? Is the 4th week? Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, because last week still set to 3. So yes, it is the 4th week.
This is session number 4, yes.
I think I have all my tabs and everything ready now.
No, I just leave them open.
So what have you been doing with yourself, Apples?
Pretty much finished our new bedroom. So I've assembled lots of IKEA to put in cupboards and stuff.
Yeah.
I was digging a good hole. What else did I do? I removed a garden bed, moved about 4 wheelbarrows worth of rock, lots of runs, and since I have to run from here, it's in fucking giant hills. There's about, I think it was 180 meters for a 7k run.
Yeah, nice.
So it fucking hurts. Yeah, that's about it. I had 2 job interviews, both of them over the phone. And I've got a follow-up one, I think, Wednesday, whenever that is. It's a Monday, obviously. So potentially got a job during a recession when no one can get jobs. So
Yeah, that's good. Did you end up getting that house down here? Did you sign off on
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
yeah. So it was due to, I think, June or July sometime that we signed it all over as they wanted a really long thing. About a month ago, they're like, oh, can we move it forward? It'd be really good. Yeah. And then this whole shit went down. And then they're like, because they were going to move to Melbourne, they go, do you mind if we don't move it forward at all and we just leave it where it is and we'll rent it off you for 6 months? And I'm like, yes, please.
Oh, you got lucky there.
Fucking lucked out so hard. So if Christmas comes around and this whole shit hasn't blown over, I might be having issues.
I think this is around for a very long time.
It's around till they figure out a vaccine.
Yeah.
Not even that, just till most of it passes over.
Yeah. The thing is, like, here in Australia, like, we'll get over the virus relatively quickly. The curve will drop down, maybe by June, July, if we're lucky. And we'll start progressively phasing it out and we'll be able to go back to normality. The problem is once this virus hits Indonesia or other third world countries where they don't have the same support mechanisms, where they can literally
Or
just
America.
tell all America is a big problem, yeah. But where they can tell everyone, all right, everybody go home. We're going to all pay you a universal basic income. Stay home. And when this is all lapsed, you can come back out again. They can't do that. So this, these people who have the virus are going to be going to work, interacting with people, because if they don't, they've got no food and money to keep the bills paid. So they're going to have this virus circulating rather rampantly in these sorts of communities, and then people are going to go visit those communities, then come back to Australia, and then set the virus in a circle again. Like, that particular situation needs to be looked at, and then until I sort of see that that's being dealt with, I couldn't confidently say that this virus isn't going to be a risk until, as you said, the vaccine gets dropped.
No, well, even here, June, July, it's going to be too early for us because remember, it's going to get cold. So everyone's going to get sneezy and snotty, which means everyone will have projectile spit everywhere. So it's going to spread faster
but
if we haven't.
Majority of people are staying home. The Easter holiday is going to be interesting, to people start moving around.
Yeah. No, the problem is they started advertising, oh, we're flattening the curve, we're being successful. So people start going to the beaches again. It's like it's going to start to spike again.
Yeah,
Speed
they've
where it
already
is.
stopped the beach going again already.
And they've already blocked off the borders, which is a good thing, but they should have done it 2 weeks earlier before they started it.
Bondi, you're back.
He's back. The mouthful
back.
of food.
Yes, I'm back.
Very disappointed today, Bondi. You did not take my bait whatsoever.
I was busy working.
Busy stealing toilet paper.
Yeah, I read it and I was like, what? What are they talking about? And then I went back to try and catch up, and then I was like, oh, I don't have time for this.
Ah, too responsible.
All right, let's do it. Let's finish the fight.
Start the fight? Did we roll initiative?
Have we
You,
rolled?
you already have rolled initiative, so I've got them saved down. All right, last time, are we ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so last time, on Descent into Avernus, you guys, where did we actually start? We started at the end of the fight within the bathhouse.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go down.
Yeah, that's right. So after you'd you defeated the 3 Nightblades and the 1 Necromite of Michael, you you did a bit of study on the history and the religion that these guys are opposing and who they're following, and you understand more about the cult of the Dead Three, who are following the gods Bane, Bul, and Merkel. After learning that, you descended down through the secret entrance in the bathhouse into what is a foul-smelling, tight, swamped cavern below, which you understand to be made up of the sewer system of Boulders. You can see and smell the sewage and water seeping through the limestone walls as you enter in and go through the dungeon. As you explored, you came upon a hexagonal room that had 3 doors, each door representing a face of one of the 3 gods. You entered in one of the rooms only to find 3 bodies laying on the ground, who turned out to be a trap of 3 necromites of Merkel. They jumped up and attacked, however you managed to valiantly slay them off, and rummaged through the room and found 3 spell books that have varying different of spells, which to the delight of your wizard was made him very happy. As you moved on through and backtracked out of the dead ends, you also came upon a tapestry on one of your inspections, and as the ever so insightful druid managed to find out by trying to draw a colourful picture on top of the tapestry to mark his own territory, became gravely ill with poison from a yellow mold from behind the tapestry. Nevertheless, he survived and fought off the poison before he could fall unconscious, and you moved on through one of the remaining doors, which led you into a large room, half flooded with an altar on top, where you could see an alive prisoner being shackled on the wall and being tormented by his 2 captors, a lady named Kazira and a man called Yignath. Upon seeing the light of you as you entered into the room, they immediately turned and attacked. And after several back and forward blows, one with the death of a bear, but then who returned more angry and more powerful than ever, you managed to knock them both out and end their torment of this prisoner. Thanesh searched the body of Yignath and found a fistful of keys and was managed to unlock the prisoner who was being shackled up above, while at the same time Hevel, whose interest got the better of him, managed to activate 2 flying gauntlets off a suit of plate armor that was nearby. And it was there that we ended that session, ready to go into combat. So as a reminder, the initiatives that you guys rolled. So Thanesh, you are at a 7, Rock, you're at a 14, Izzy, you're at a 6, and Hevel, you had a 1. You see these 2 gauntlets, one from each side of the plate armor, animate in front of you and start floating up. Rock, you are the first one to move in this.
I'm just trying to figure out where I am. It's a mess in this little corner here.
Yeah, so what I'll do real quick is I will
You're on
just
Yignath.
hide. I'll hide the... whoops. So I've just hidden the other tokens, so you guys should be able to see where you are now.
I can see me.
Are you a
I do what
blonde-haired bear?
Rock does. Of course, blood hair. Super Saiyan bear. I do what Rock do best, and I bite, and then I follow up with claws.
Yep, just to confirm, you're taking the one that's looks like it's in the wall, but that's just where the token is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I assume they're both actually on the same spot, considering they're the hands.
Yes. Yeah, it's fair enough to say that. They're just the tokens that they're representing. Okay.
Cool.
So
yeah, I just smack the right hand, because the right hand is on my side.
Yep, so,
Not the hand that feeds you.
so lunging forward with a bite first.
I've got +6, so 16.
So as you leap forward with your bite, you actually find that your jaws clasp around the curved edge of the gauntlets. However, your teeth slip straight.
Guys, we're never going to hit this fucking thing.
What did you just roll to hit?
16.
That's ominous.
We're gonna die.
I follow it up as it slips out with some claws.
Roll to hit.
What you do, sir? Shit. I get 8.
So as the jaw pressure that you applied around the gauntlet managed to shoot it back a bit, you shot it too far away from your claw as you swipe at it, but you hit nothing but. Do you do anything else for your turn?
Nah, I'll leave myself there, assuming the other guys are going to use me as cover.
Okay, Thanish, it is your turn.
Me with a 7 is
Yes.
oh, wow.
Yes.
They're both sharing the same space, right?
Yes, I will say for the moment they are sharing the same space, but just for
Okay.
clarity, I have moved one off to the side.
Yeah. So I'm going to ignite their space with a bonfire.
Okay.
So
yep.
dexterity 12 save.
Give me one moment. It's a 5-foot cube. Okay. Yep. What is the DC on that? 12.
12.
As your bonfire ignites below, you see that the sort of air pressure that has been made by the fire cackling up actually lifts them up just slightly higher than the bonfire. You can see the fire glowing from the underneath them, but you can't ascertain whether they're taking any damage or not.
Okay. I
You're being
will.
rude.
Now I'm close to them, so I'll actually stay where I am.
It is now the Gauntlet's turn, and as they start humming with the power in front, they immediately turn to batter Hevel. It's the one who has woken them.
He's right. He's our tank.
He almost died.
The first one shoots off back, still getting bearings of the magical force around it that's trying to hold it steady as it manages to knock itself into the suit of armor that's latched onto the wall. And you've seen that it's taken a dint in around about where the pinky would be on the gauntlet. The second gauntlet comes forward with another swing at you. However, Hevel being shocked by this, you actually manage to take a quick dart backward as you see it fling itself in front of you, but misses your face completely. They start to hover about 10 feet above where you are, Hevel. So they're occupying the same spot, but they are now about 10 feet up in the air. For comparison, they look like they're very close to touching the ceiling.
Okay. How high is the ceiling?
It is around about, so it varies from room to room that you've been in. The average is around about 9 foot. However, with this altar and the raised and the wooden beams, you could tell that these are very close to the roof, so they're about 10.
Okay, so still in melee range though.
Yeah, if you've got a weapon with a reach of 10 feet.
Oh, maybe. How tall's your bear? Can you jump and hit it?
You're gonna have to stand on the bear just to reach.
Izzy, it is your turn.
I shall frost ray the left-hand gauntlet.
Roll to hit.
It is not good. It is a 10.
As you shoot off your frost ray, due to the quick speed that actually rose up towards the roof, you misjudged your aim and shot directly past it. You've made a slick surface on the roof behind it.
We're gonna die.
Anything more?
No.
Okay, Hevel, your turn.
I want to kind of. Was there any like symbols or anything on the plate that we might have picked up last time, or do I have to do a investigation check?
Remind me, did you do a check before? Actually, you did because you ascertained that it was you have not noticed anything in terms of a telltaling symbol or anything. You just it appears to be a well-crafted yet welded together armor set. Though you can ascertain that it is made of plate.
And what about the braces themselves?
So the gauntlets, you could tell that they were a part of the same armor set. They had no telltaling insignias or signatures or anything that you could ascertain before you touched them.
We removed the gag from the prisoner. Is he speaking anything at the moment?
No, not at this point in time. He is conscious though, and he is watching as this all unfolds.
This is one of the guys that was there,
The prisoner.
So the prisoner, yep.
the prisoner. Can I maybe use my action to like say, speak to him and say, like, do you know what this is? What is this?
Yep. Okay. We'll wait for his turn. And anything else?
No.
Okay. All right. So it is now the prisoner's turn, and the prisoner says, "Oh, I heard them say that they're going to, rig that for if anyone was to touch, they're just going to activate and attack the person who touched them. That's all I know." And then as he says this, while he's wounded, he's still able to get to his feet after falling from where the shackles were, and he starts to slowly hobble his way towards the door as he gets towards the stairs behind the bear, cowering behind the bear. It is now Rock's turn.
Rock smash.
Now, what's your attack range as a bear?
Brown bear. It's melee. It doesn't say otherwise.
Okay, so that's 5 feet. So at this point in time, you can't actually reach the gauntlets.
How big is he if he stands up on his hind legs?
He's a large beast. I don't know what large is.
I've got something here that says large. Size. Large.
You
Oh no,
do.
that's object hit points. Okay, all right. Actually, I will ascertain that you can make an attack if you are standing on your hind legs with your claws, but not with your.
Alright, I swing with claws.
Okay, swing to hit.
17?
Roll damage.
Ah, I did it, guys. I'm a winner. 10 damage.
Okay, and just for clarity, which one are you hitting? Because they will say they're occupying the same spot, so you can choose.
The right hand one.
Okay. So as you see these gauntlets hover up towards the air, you just rear back onto your hind legs as you reach forward with a massive claw, managing to catch onto one of the. As you see these visible scratch marks etching onto the gauntlet, just the same as you did with the shield that belonged to Kazira. However, it is still there, floating and active. It is now Tanesh's turn.
Alright, so you'd say that my bonfire is not affecting them, they're too high?
They are too high, yeah. They're currently outside the 5-foot cube.
Okay. Well, I'll dismiss my concentration on that if it's having no effect, because I don't want to damage the suit of plate mail. I will throw a firebolt at the left gauntlet.
Okay, roll to hit.
Natural 20!
Hey, roll crit.
$14 fire damage.
So, You expertly shoot this fireball and you manage to get a square hit in the underside of the gauntlet, sending the fireball directly inside the gauntlet. At which point you see your fire shoot out of each of the fingertips, and as the magical energy around the gauntlet dissipates and it falls clang to the ground.
Hell yeah. And I turn to the prisoner as he runs behind me and say, "Oh, you wait."
How much do you hit it for?
14.
Okay. It's now the other gauntlets. And you see it spearing, trying to make contact with Hevel's head. At which point you manage to feel the clock on top of your head directly as it makes contact, and it hits you for 9 bludgeoning damage. The gauntlet is now hovering directly in front of your face. It is now Izzy's turn.
I shall, just attack with Ray of Frost.
Okay, roll to hit.
18.
That hits, roll damage.
1d8. 5.
As your Ray of Frost manages to make a clean contact with the inside palm of the gauntlet, excuse me, you feel that the ice around it is starting to encase it and slow down the gauntlet. It just hovers ever so slightly, but slower, still in front of Hevel's face. Hevel, it is your turn.
Can I grapple it? Or just grab it? It's just a gauntlet. I'll just grab it and hold it.
Put your hand in it.
Yeah, exactly. And
Okay.
it's slowed down, so it should be have disadvantage.
Does it get disadvantage off your spell?
Not quite, but as a DM, you could overrule it.
I could.
It-
Yeah, okay, all right. You do a strength check for me, please.
6.
So describe to me how you're attempting to grapple.
Well, it's like right in front of my face, so
Yep.
I'm just going to without thinking much about it, just stick my fist out, grab it, and try and hold it.
So as you throw your hand, your spare hand out that doesn't have a hold of your, you can feel that the gauntlet is actually quite slippery after being hit by Izzy's ice or Ray of Frost. Sorry. However, the sheer willpower in your hand manages to melt a bit of the ice, and you hold onto it with a firm grasp.
With a 6, yeah.
It got a 1.
I just imagine Hevel just reaching forward with one hand, just holding it. Just grabs.
So it is
No
now
effort.
grappled. Okay. Now what do you do?
Not much. That's my turn. I can't really do much as a bonus action.
Okay. Rock, it is your turn. You currently see Hevel to your left, holding on to this gauntlet. He's struggling a little bit to hold on to it because of the slipperiness of its nature, but he does.
I prepare myself to, as close as I can, ready to just pounce as soon as it comes out. If he
Okay.
loses.
Dinesh, your turn.
I'll fire another. Oh, actually, no. Oh, it's being grappled, yeah?
Yes.
What's the...
Just don't burn me.
Alright, well, I'm going to turn to Hevel, and I'm going to cast a very careful firebolt as he holds it in front of me.
Okay, roll to hit.
22.
Roll damage.
7 fire damage.
So you see Hevel struggling with this gauntlet right in front of him as you say to him, turn to me quickly. And as he turns to you, you get nice and close just with your head, almost touching their gauntlet, and you just shoot this fireball out with precise damage as it goes straight out of his hands. The slippery nature of it was not enough for him to hold on to. However, your fireball has enough force that it shots straight up into the roof, and you see it with a clang come straight down on the ground next to Rock, motionless.
2 for 2. Good job, Hevel.
I'll get each of you to add 25 XP to your character.
That
At
seems
this
like
point-
you're missing a 0.
At this point, you see and hear the sloshing of as your prisoner is slowly wading towards one of the entrances.
Rock starts growling and gets ready to, obviously look like that's not what he should be doing. Just grrr.
I make a very large.
At this point, the prisoner turns around and is like, "Oh, thought you guys might have been stuck there a little longer. Thank you for saving me, though. But I must be on my way. I have to get home."
I say in bearish, no, you come back.
He hears a very low growl, and that startles him even more as he starts taking a slow step back. He's now halfway into the in between two pillars.
Where's he going? Ask him, where are you going?
I need to get back to my house. I need to get back to my family in the upper. Please let me go. Thank you. You've done a great service in saving me.
No. You need to explain what you were doing down here. Why were you with these people?
I was captured. I'm a noble from the upper city, and they captured me to torture me and offer me up to their god.
Why you?
I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's because of my family. Maybe it's
What's your
because of
name, sir?
my name is Klim.
Klim.
Klim. Yes.
And what is your profession?
Why? I'm just the son of a very rich person. I don't actually work at this point in time. But I tell you what, my family would pay you handsomely if you let me get back to.
I think we should stop this guy.
Where can we meet your family?
We're up in the upper. You can find us on the very northern edge. We have a family home. Look for Jasso. My name is Klim Jasso. If you see my father, he will reward you for my safe return.
Shall we escort you to make sure you do return safe?
I block the doorway.
Okay. As he keeps backing, he turns and sees this bear just right behind him, intimidating, and this just freaks him out a little more. An escort out of here would be great. I can find my way once I'm back in the city.
Do you mind? We'll escort you, but do you mind if we have a quick look around before we take you? Can you wait?
Yes, I guess I can. I don't think your bear's gonna let me go anyway.
I start nudging him in the direction of down here, as in he can lead the way.
I'd like to pick up the plate gauntlets so that one day I may add them to a suit of plate armor.
Okay.
How heavy is the armor?
Well, they're just standard plate gauntlets. I haven't actually looked at the weight of plates in that instant. At the moment, just add 2 damaged plate gauntlets to your inventory.
Okay.
I'll have a look at the statue. Does it look like that we can remove it? And does it look like it can be worn?
Yeah, okay. I'll get you to roll a perception check for me.
7.
So as you inspect the plate armor, you can see it's designed for someone who is just slightly taller than your average human male. Looking around, you see the body of Yignath, and you would say that would be a perfect suit of armor for someone like Yignath. However, because it is plate, you could say this might be able to be smelted down to someone of a proper size. You do notice the same level of welding that has formed it into one solid suit. So you see the welding marks around the pant line and where the shoulder pads would be connecting. You also do notice around the back, you can't quite tell because it is very dark, that it looks to be heavily bolted towards on the wall.
All right. So if it looks, I'll just touch a bit of the wall next to it, and I'll light it up so it illuminates that area, and I can see.
Yep.
Can
Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. You go.
Yeah. So as you touch the wall, and you see the light dissipate from your staff, but spread out just behind where the suit of armor is, you can notice that there is around about 10 fixated bolt points into the limestone. Some of them have cracked up a bit more, where a bit of the water has seeped out at points, but it does look to be heavily fastened in there, and it would take you a bit of time to try and unfasten it from the wall.
Okay. I'll turn and say to Hevel, I said, we could probably get this out, but it would take a lot of time. We might have to come back a different day.
That's fair enough. Maybe we could bring a dwarf in. He'll have it out in no time.
If only you guys had a dwarf with you, not a bear, right?
Indeed.
Bear might slightly damage. You never know.
Damage the wall. The armor will be fine.
Alright, I'll step away from here and I'll turn to everyone and say, look, do you mind if I send Fip around to explore the last part of this? I sort of don't want to be jumped again.
What happens if Fit dies?
If he dies, he basically just disappears back into the Fey realm, and then I have to spend a lot of gold to bring him back again. Is effectively what it is. I gotta cast my spell once more.
You're gonna have to start working for some gold.
I'm gonna pimp you all out.
Alright, so I'll send Fip down this way to sort of check out this tunnel.
Okay.
Well, you that. I wish you check Yugith's body for anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
of
we
course.
got bodies on the ground.
Yep. So I'll get you. Okay. So Phipps moved in. We'll just do the loot first in that case. So Hevel, I'll get. Not Hevel. Izzy, I'll get you to do a perception check for Yignath.
9.
So as you look around on Yignath's body, you can't ascertain that there's anything more of value on there after Thanesh had already gone through and found the fistful. There is still the spear that is lying next to him, the one that he used in battle, but there is nothing else of monetary value that you can ascertain on him.
Has the spear got metal on it? Or
It was a standard spear, so yes, it does have a metal tip.
am I allowed to wear that? I can't, because I've got spear as a weapon I can use, but I'm not allowed to wear metal. Would a spear count?
You're not allowed to wear metal.
Yeah, druids apparently don't wear metal. They don't like metal. I don't fucking know. Give me a sec.
Oh, okay. So from a law standpoint, you don't want to. So I guess
No,
wearing.
as in from a class, I'm not allowed to.
But wear is
I'm not
different to wield, I would
Yeah,
think.
I would say.
That's why.
So no metal armor, but perhaps metal on weapons? I don't know, it just depends.
I'd argue a spear would be mostly wood, but the head of it would probably be metal, and then that would kind of.
Okay, so druids have a taboo against wearing metal armor and wielding a metal shield. And that artworked metal that's associated with civilization. Druids don't lack the ability; they just choose. So I would say it doesn't say that you won't. You just choose not to. So I guess you as a druid, do you choose that your guy would wield a metal tipped weapon?
I don't know. He seemed. Oh, he's obviously only in it for the bigness. So I guess he'd skirt some laws. When I look at the the spear with my paws. What can I tell about it? Is it a really good spear? Or is it just your generic run-of-the-mill spear?
Do a perception check for me, please.
I've lost perception. Oh, 7.
So you can't really tell if there's anything that makes it look stronger. You can tell that it is around about a foot longer than what you've seen normal spears to be, probably because it was wielded by a giant of a man that had benefit from it being a bit longer. But you can just tell that it seems to be a normal spear.
I kind of nudge it towards Finash, as in, carry this for me, bitch. He's used to my druidic ways of just lobbing shit on him from our travels. And being a bear, I obviously cannot pick things up. So.
All right, I'll pick it up for him.
Okay, add 1 spear to your inventory.
Did we get any gold?
Yeah.
So from the checks that you've done, because you did check both of the bodies before the end of the last session,
Okay.
and there was no gold.
Alright, I didn't remember. We determined that shield that Hevel was looking at. Did Hevel pick that up, or it was no better than the one he's got?
So I don't think Hevel has a shield at the moment.
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, standard shield.
Okay. Are you wielding that standard shield?
Yep.
Okay. So one thing we did talk about in the last session is that it was around about religion and what's banned and what's not. And you know that there's no banned religious practices as long as you're not breaking the law. And it is ascertained that if you are carrying or wielding weapons or anything that has the insignia of what you are practicing, it may be determined that you could be trying to commit an unlawful act in the name of your religion. Also ascertain that based off the quest that you were given by the captain of the guard that you are representing, the dead 3 may be very well shunned upon it, as they are suspect of committing crimes.
Was the religious markings that you said that were on the shield, are they painted on, or is it like an engraving or carved?
So, one sec. So, Kazira, the skull on Kazira's shield has been painted in fresh blood. So the shield itself, it does not have it engraved on there. It is just the painting. However, the shield has been heavily damaged by 2 giant claw attacks and 1 bite, which you can see dug straight in.
I'll leave it.
Okay, so Fip, now Fip discovers as he's going through that this is a watered hallway that curves with some stairwell going up to the left.
All right, I'll have Fip just follow it up.
Okay, Fip comes to a closed door at the top of the stairwell.
Okay. I'll bring Fip all the way back. Now, that door on the east, that is a door on the east that's also closed in the water over here.
Yep, that is a closed door as well.
Yeah, cool. So Fip will come back to me, perch on my shoulder once more. Actually, no, I'll just disappear him into his pocket realm that he goes to. And I'll just say to everyone, there isn't much on the other side. There's a door that hooks around, so the path hooks around to the right and goes to a closed door. So we can check this out now, or perhaps we can come back and look. I don't know, it's up to you. What do you think? Do we look at it all here first and then go back, or do we come back a different day?
Is it worth using Mage Hand to see if any of the doors are unlocked?
It could be. You could use Mage Hand and push the door open from a distance, and I could send Fit through. If we want to avoid traps that way. You got to be able to see the target for Mage Hand, though.
I thought it just needed to be within 30 feet.
So
No, Hevel and Rock. Well, Rock's in bear form, so he's he can't speak. Hevel, what do you think? Should we check this out?
yeah, so a spectral floating hand appears at a point you choose within range. So I will determine that you at least have to see it. In terms of like this being a corridor and there's solid walls, it's hard for you to point at the correct point.
Alright, I'll move down to here so I can
I
get a
suppose,
better look.
like, we've found 3 separate rooms, haven't we? One for each of these gods. Is that right? Or have we only
Yeah.
been to 2?
Yeah,
No, we've been
three.
down 3.
I feel like if there's 3 rooms, one for each god, there might not be much left to this place.
All right.
So maybe have a little bit of look around. That said, I've only got 7 health left and no spell slots, so kind of risky going into another fight.
I'd say if there's a big bad guy and we leave him, he's just gonna come out for a walk and see it, and we're not gonna get the opportunity to come back.
Well, if the doors are unlocked, chances are there could be someone in there.
Yeah, I'd go with we should try and look in, smash, see what happens, bail if we have to. Like,
Huh.
fully we can set up that we're going to bail, and once we're outside, we can just essentially raise the alarm. So I can essentially meat shield that shit for a bit. And yeah,
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Izzy, do your thing. And I'll bring Fit back and send him close to the door and ready to be.
I asked Clem to get on my back. I growl at him and force him onto my back. So he will meat shield on top of him. I sit there and growl until he climbs up. Is that possible?
As you growl more and more, you see this man start cowering further and further into the water. He doesn't know what you're asking. He doesn't understand what is going.
I used my lovely big paw and like start patting on my back and, you know, putting my head down kind of for him to get up.
Oh, the bear wants riches.
You see, I don't know. No. I must get out of here. I must get out of here. And he starts to break and make a run out behind.
I just fully, you know, be bear and just don't allow it.
Okay, make a strength check for me, please.
Strength is the bear, wasn't it?
Yep.
+4. Fucking hell, I'm strong for the first time. Shit, I got on an 11.
So you're actually quite surprised by the nimble frail as he manages to push past the tuft of fur on your right side and gets past you as he starts to hobble away through the back towards the entrance.
I call out the Rock and just say, leave him. We'll catch up to him later. We know where his dad lives now. Let's check this
If
out.
you tell the truth.
If you tell the truth, we'll find him.
Alright, I let him go. And I walk around here and I kind of crocodile it in the water. So I leave just my head sitting up in the water, ready to ambush anything that comes past. I assume the floating turds help, you know, camouflage my brown bareness.
This might not
Okay.
be filth here.
Yeah, well, as because it's only in the water, and you know you can see the stairs in front of you. All right, so are you doing your thing, Izzy?
Yep. I summon Mage Hand and send it towards the door.
The door freely pushes open with your hand, with your mage hand again.
Alright, I'll send Fip in.
Okay. So as you send in Fip through the door, first thing you notice straight ahead of you is it does curve around more to the left, but there is
Yep.
also an entranceway on your right. And as Fip comes into this area, sees the following: a corpse on top of an altar, a cloaked person laying over the corpse, muttering a few words, and you see some rats scurrying around the floor. However, they don't appear to have any flesh on them.
Fip will continue fluttering up and around the corner.
Okay. So as Fip goes around, it's almost fully circular. He sees a door to the south that is closed, and as he follows up the curve around the left side, more stairs leading upwards, there is another door also closed.
I'll recall Fip, so he'll just disappear and pop back on top of my shoulder again. And I'll tell everybody, hey, the corridor continues to hook around and it gets higher and higher, like a spiral sort of staircase. There is 2 more doors that I can't see, but immediately on the other side of the doorway that Izzy pushed open, to the right, there's another chamber. And it looks like another one of these cloaked figures that we've been fighting on the way in here. And also a bunch of rats that are moving, but they look dead. I don't know if we want to push into there yet.
You rats, no.
I mean, we could probably take him, but it's up to you if you want to push through.
Rook starts making his way up the stairs.
Okay. How?
Hearing rats, as he's a bear, he just thinks that it's going to be a trivial, effortless thing.
Okay.
All right,
Follow.
I'll make Fip disappear, and I will follow as well.
Okay.
Pretty much, I want to come burning around the corner and just start swiping at the first thing I see, just to numb it. I want a full go. I'm a fucking bear, run in there, and food.
Okay. So, as you enter into the room, you can see with a bit more detail than what Fip noticed. You see that this room is partially collapsed. It has 3 wooden beams bracing the ceiling. Situated between the beams is a scorched wooden table with a human cadaver resting atop it. A frighteningly thin woman in a black robe is studying the corpse, her face largely hidden under the cowl, and around her feet creep a swarm of skeletal rats. As you enter, and you're entering with such force and power as your feet are clamping around on the floor, you hear the woman yell out, "You must not be disturbed while this is going on. Deal with them, my pretties."
Upon seeing the shit show, I'd like to put all my force into knocking down one of the pillars. Just full fuck it, I've made a mistake, knock down a pillar, and then try and bail back to the entry.
Okay. Before we do that, you all must roll initiation.
Okay. 14 from me.
9.
12.
At 11.
So Izzy with 11 and Rock with 12.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So based off that initiation, Thanesh, you actually go first.
Cool. Now I'll freely be able to move through my friendlies, won't I?
You will. However, your first step of movement is still in the submerged water, so you'll take 10 feet to get out.
Cool. So I should be able to move to about here, which should be about 25 feet from my calculation.
Yep. You'll be fine to get there.
And yeah, I can see her. So, seeing her before, I'm going to come through and now, would I have heard her say what she said as Rock went around the corner?
Yes, I'll determine that you have all heard that.
Okay. So I'm going to, hearing that and hearing that she doesn't want to be disturbed, I'm going to disturb her and light a fire under her ass.
Okay. Yep. So she does a dex save.
Yep, 12.
So you can tell that she's been a bit prepared with the sound of Rock coming through. And as you get in there to light the bonfire, she's actually already partial way of jumping over the table and over the cadaver onto the other side as she manages to dodge the bonfire being created underneath her spot. She's now situated on the other side of the table.
Oh, okay.
But your bonfire is now burning in front of the table, giving ample light into the room.
Cool. I will use my last 5 foot of movement just to stand at everybody else's way.
Yep. Where are you moving, sir? Yep.
Sorry, I was using the wrong tool. I'm like clicking my guy, like, why can I not move him? Turn around and wait.
And give me a sec. I just got to get the stat block of these monsters. Found him. Okay, so it is now the rat's turn, and you see this amass ball of skeletal rats start scratching their way out from underneath where, like just before where the lady was, and they start going towards Rock. And as they move forward, they start biting at your paws. Sorry. And as they hit you for 6 piercing damage on your paws, on your front paws. Okay. It is now Rock, your turn.
Are we considering the swarm as one entity?
Yes.
So they've become the Rat King.
It could very well be the skeletal rat king.
Yeah, well, as they bite on me, I just chomp into them and try and claw them. I do what Brown Bear Rock does best.
Okay. Yep, so roll to hit.
21 for bite.
Okay. So as you nom down, you feel several amounts of the bone crush within your mouth. Roll down.
Oh, 12 damage on the bite.
So as you chomp down and you crunch away like as if it's a breakfast you've never had for a while, you see a number of the skeletal bodies just fall apart and collapse into small shards and dust beneath you. There's still a number of rats scurrying around into the ball.
I then just try and... Oh, no, I'm using my multi-attack, so I don't get too bad. I attack with my claws then.
Yep. Roll to hit.
And that is 3 + 6, 9.
So as you swipe through, you swipe at the pile of dust and bone that's in front of you, but the rats are very quick and nimble, jumping around your claws as they manage to get around and seem unscathed. But
for the rest of my turn, I'd like to kind of I'm not blocking the way, view of the rats at all.
I'll say no.
Alright, cool. I'll just sit in the way so that they can't get past them.
Okay.
Trying to protect everyone else.
So it's now Hevel. Sorry, no, Izzy.
I shall move into attacking position.
Yep.
So Rock did some damage, but not enough.
Sorry, say again.
I'm just deciding to attack someone with either Ray of Frost or a crossbow. I shall attack the rats with Ray of Frost.
Okay. Make an attack hit.
14.
That hits. Roll damage.
3.
Okay. So as you shoot the ray of frost, as you bend down between the legs of the bear that's towering over this pile of rats that's scurrying around, but you manage to make contact and blow a few of the rats away as they collapse into bone just around the random parts of the floor. But there's still a number of rats scurrying around in the ball.
I move back so that Hevel can come in and attack.
Okay, Hevel, it is your turn.
Alright. Hi. I'm here. Alright. Looks like the bear's blocking the doorway as well.
I will say that you have vision past the bear.
Alright. Well, I guess I'd probably stand there and I would use my action to pull out my crossbow and put a bolt in it.
Okay. So you're loading your crossbow to the ready?
Yep.
All right.
Is that it?
Yep. So it is the lady's turn, and as she's now readied herself behind the cover of the table, you see her pop up, and her hands just start glowing with this white red power coming out of them. And as she looks towards the bear, she shoots out with this searing ray of power towards the bear. What's your AC?
11.
Okay.
It's not a WoW druid. I don't get good armor. Should have gone the goddamn direwolf.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just had to look at the damage.
Lots of numbers.
So as this ray is shooting towards you, you see it split off into two forked beams as they come towards you, both hitting you on either side of the and you feel yourself take 11 necrotic damage.
Cool, guys. This is going well.
And as you hear her yell out, "Why don't you come into the room and play?" It goes back around. It is now Thanesh's turn.
Now this is all looking very busy. I'm not sure if I can see or do anything.
You could move through or around. Got any?
I can move through
yeah.
everybody, but I'd have to move through the rats as well.
You should try and shoot out the post.
I'd have to determine if the roof looks like it would collapse.
Don't determine it. Just see what happens. Come on, man. Stupid fucking wizards thinking things through.
All right. I'll attempt to run past everybody and carefully step by the rats and get to this sort of space if I can.
Yep. Okay, the rats are still busy dealing with the bear, and they know your presence. However, they're not attacking you as you move through them.
Yep. And I'll light up a new bonfire on top of the rats.
Okay. So as the rats are scurrying around, they don't take notice of the bonfire that is starting to crackle below, as their willpower is focused on towards attacking the bear. They are taking damage from this. Do you roll the damage on that? Yeah.
Yeah, 5. I was just making sure I was rolling the right die.
So the flames are crackling below, and while you can't hear anything, as you can tell that these skeletal rats are under, you can only imagine the squeaking and squealing as some of the bones just collapse into dust within. You just see just a very, very small subset of rats of what was there originally still scurrying around.
Okay. I'll just make a note that if I see that there are no more rats, I would dismiss the bonfire to allow my team members friendly passage.
Of course. Okay. It is now the rat's turn. Now, with bonfire, so a creature must also make a saving throw when it moves into the bonfire space for the end time, or turn ends, or if it ends its turn there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The rats are going to take another bite at Rock's feet. You said your AC was 11?
Yeah.
As the rats make a final scurrying attack towards you, they just manage to latch on to the same area that they bit on before, and you take 3 piercing damage. As they manage, the last few rats will bite on and just latch onto you as best they can. However, they are not moving from that space, and Thanesh, if you can roll damage again.
They do get to make the save again.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they get to make the save again.
Any creature in the bonfire space when you cast the spell must make the dex saving throw. A creature must also make a saving throw when it moves into for the first time or ends its turn there.
Yeah.
They manage to dart around the edges of the bonfire, mainly because they're still latched onto Rock's paw, and they take no damage from the fire.
Okay.
Rock, it is your turn.
Rock smash. So I do my normal multi-attack.
On the rats?
Yes.
Yep, roll to hit.
20 for bite.
Natural or not natural?
Not natural.
Yeah, roll damage.
It was weird because I'd moved the dice and it was now showing 20, and I'm like, was that what happened? 6 plus... no, not me, the bear. 6 plus 4, 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay, so as you lift your paw up with these last 3 skeletal rats as they're biting on the edge, you just put your entire paw in your mouth and pull it out with the rat staying inside your mouth, and you just crunch down and hear the final bones just rattle out of your mouth. There are no more rats left.
Cool. I can't split my multi-attack in between the movement, can I? It'd be
No.
limited at one spot. Okay.
Yeah, because multi-attack is your action, and you can't split your action up by movement. I'll say in that case.
I skirt around the fire and head straight in for the Sheila, just full barreling in.
Yep.
And get right up on that.
Okay, so are you on So there is a table in between where you are. Are you standing on one side, on the opposite side of the table? Are you trying to get on top of the table?
I'd say I'm a bear. I can't really do gymnastics, so I'd go around it.
Okay.
I don't know where I need to be for that, but
How much is your movement? Is it 40 feet?
yeah.
You'd be able to, even though it's partially collapsed, you'd still be able to occupy this space, or you could occupy this space with your movement.
I go all the way up to here then.
All right, perfect. It is now Izzy's turn.
I move into. I avoid the fire.
Yep.
Wasn't Daddy going to dismiss it once the rats?
Yeah.
It is. It is. It is
So I would
dismissed.
pull it down. That also means the room's fully dark now, yeah? Is there any other light
No,
source in
Um,
the room?
that it lit itself up when we entered.
So it was illuminated by the. I'd say the bonfire did illuminate even more. However, there is a source of light next to the table. So at the moment, Thanesh, I'd say you are. Hang on. You are currently standing in dim light, but where the table is full.
Okay.
I, angered by the fact that this wizard sorcery woman set our friendly bear on fire, I ready my crossbow and I shoot.
And you shoot.
Yes.
Okay. Roll to hit.
8.
So as you fire through with your crossbow, she's expertly ducking behind the cover that is provided for her, and you just see the bolt shoot off into the rubble behind her. No comment. No hit or contact.
Curses.
Okay, Hevel, it is your turn.
Can I move past the bear?
The bear is next to the woman up at the altar, so there is nothing there blocking.
Oh, okay. What is that? Is he just above the dead character?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
Right.
the nameplate's moved into the square under it. Stupid.
Well, I'd probably like move to there and try shooting it with that crossbow.
Yep. Okay. Make an attack roll.
I got 10.
Much the same as Izzy's shot, although this time you try to compensate and you aim down and you actually make contact with the table that is in front of her.
Sick. Now, Daddy, just what you said in chat, am I able, if I were to switch back to my mace, you said to put away cost the action, but I
Yeah.
can drop it. And
So you can drop an item. Dropping an item doesn't cost an action or whatever. But if you're wanting, because you've got a shield, a sword, or your shield, a mace, and a crossbow, if you want to fasten your mace to yourself, that counts as your free action spent. So if you then wanted to pull out your crossbow and fire it, that would be a second action.
so I can put the crossbow away as a free action.
So yeah, you could put the same thing. You could put the crossbow away, and then you could pull the mace out, and that would be your action for that turn. For you fully switching. You can get around with that by just throwing your crossbow on the ground, and you can just draw your mace.
I see. Right, cool. That's my turn.
Okay. Sorry, I was just double checking. So as the cloaked woman's, it's now her turn, as she shrieks at the sight of her beloved skeletal rats have fallen to dust and bone. She gives out a cackle and says, "Aha! Now there's 4 of you in this room. 4 times the fun." And as you see the same glowing animation that's come from her hand as some of you saw before, with the attack on. Now, hang on, I just need to do a color here. Okay, you see her shoot out of her hand the same white-red beam as it comes out, but splits into 4 rays. one of them heading towards each of you this time. The first one heading towards Thanesh. Your AC is pretty high, isn't it? So.
Now my AC. So it depends on how long has it been since we fought the big two.
It's probably only been about 10 minutes. You guys have moved on pretty quick.
So I'd still have the effect of Mage Armor.
Yep.
In that case, my armor class is 14.
So this white hot beam that's looking a bit deathly in color as it gets closer to you, glances off and hits the wall behind you. Same for you, Izzy. As it seems that you're in the dim light, it's made it a bit hard for her to make contact. Rock, right next to you, you see this beam, but because she's put this concentration on, she's failed to miss you and has actually hit the floor in front of you. A bit of the broken rubble actually shoots up into your face, but does no effect to you. Hevel, however, you manage to cop the full brunt of this beam as it comes towards you.
No.
And you take 6 necrotic damage, and I believe you have resistance to necrotic.
Yeah, I do. What's that mean?
So you take half. You take 3 necrotic damage as you feel what you would have expected to be a fire beam actually come at you with this death energy as it makes contact, but you shrug it off.
Yes.
It comes back around to you, Thanesh.
He was just like, no, fuck that, and left.
I thought it's not my turn yet. That's all right. I'll scream out, "The flaming fists condemn you to death," and I'll fling a firebolt at her.
Okay. Roll to hit.
15.
That hits. Roll damage.
8 fire damage.
Ooh. So as she hears your quip and she's taken aback by what you're saying, as she leans up to take notice of you, and this fireball just bang clocks her, and as you see her take a bit of damage and a few scorched eyebrows, and from underneath that's been illuminated by the fireball, you see this frail old woman with a wicked grin on her face. She takes the damage but appears unfazed.
I'll give a wicked grin back.
Yep. That rolls around to Rox.
I don't do what bears do best, and instead I jump her and pin her to the ground, or attempt to.
So you're attempting to grapple her?
Yes. Wait, if I do that, she can't do things, can she? She has to break my grapple to... Yeah.
She can't use her hands for spells, but she can still do voice component.
Conditional ends.
I think.
Oh, it just talks about condition ends. Yeah, I don't know what that spell actually... I'd say it requires hands because it is an animation. Okay, anyway, make a strength check.
Cool. Alright, let's see what I got, guys. Alrighty. Yeah, brown bear. 18.
Okay. As you pound off the ground, which is kind of raised, it gives you a bit of leverage over top of the table, and as you expertly land on top of it, both paws on the shoulders manage to knock her clean down. You've got her grappled and prone.
And I'd like to put as much of my bear weight as I can on her and just put my all into not letting her out, kind of thing, while the others come and deal with it.
Okay. Izzy, it is your turn.
I shall use Ray of Frost so I don't hit our bear friend with the crossbow in his ass.
Wait, Ray of Frost with a crossbow.
No. I'm using the crossbow, so I'm using Ray of Frost, so not the crossbow, because I don't want to hit apples in the ass with the crossbow.
So given that that she is currently prone from the grapple, You will have disadvantage on this. However, as the table is solid in front of you, you can determine that she has full cover and cannot be targeted by where you're currently standing.
Okay, so I have to move.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you now have vision of her.
Yeah. And now I attack.
With Ray of Frost? Okay, roll with disadvantage.
First is 23.
Oh, that's a good one.
And last one is 11.
Okay, so as you get up nice and close, however, the sheer weight of the bear on top is nearly covering her up completely, and then you are unfortunately able to make a clean contact with her as your Ray of Frost misses.
Curses.
Anything else for your turn?
No.
Okay, it is now Hevel's turn.
Is that somebody in front of me? Is that?
So the corpse that you're seeing, this token, is a
Izzy.
cadaver, and then there's Izzy next to it.
Yeah, the text was kind of muffled.
Yep.
So I probably cannot actually get into melee distance, can I?
The spot that you can determine is that one next to Rock. You would be able to. Rock is actually sorry. He is. Can you move to on top of Lennis, please? Because you are. So the two spots. Those two spots are currently.
I see. Okay. Well, I would move into that open position, having dropped the crossbow on the ground, pulled my mace, and try to hit her with the mace.
Okay. Yep. Roll with advantage.
Why do I get advantage?
Because she is currently prone.
Huh? Well, I didn't do that well. I got 11.
Okay. Much the same, but from the other side, you find that this gigantic bear is able to cover up the entirety of this frail woman. You can't find an opening through the thick tuft of fur that's covering her up. As your mace strikes hit broken gravel beneath him.
We're winning this fight so hard we can't hurt her.
Someone should just try and convince her to give up.
It is it is now the woman's turn. Now give me a second. Okay, can you please make a strength check for me, Rock, as the woman is starting to try and weave and wiggle her way out from underneath you.
14.
However, you anticipate each of these movements as your claws just start sinking in a bit deeper into the shoulders as you hold her tight and solid. She's yelling out, "Curse you, you stupid bear, get off me, or this will be the end of you." It rolls back around to Tanish's turn.
No worries. So would she be restrained at the moment with the way that the bear is sitting on it?
So I'm determining it as grappled and prone.
All right. I have some rope, and I'm going to attempt to restrain her while the bear is sitting on top of her.
Okay.
Gag her.
So you need to move to a point
Yeah,
that
so
is
I'll
free.
stand on top of the table or near the table, if that's okay. Or to restrain her, I'll share onto her space, or if I can fit in up against the wall, up around here, if that's rulable.
Yeah, I would say that you can fit there. However, I just need to quickly look up restraint. Okay, so given how Rock has currently got her positioned, I will determine that you are able to restrain her legs with the rope in this action.
Okay, I will do so.
Yep. With that, it is now Rock's turn.
Alright. So how big is she? Because I am large. What is she?
She would be classed as medium.
God damn it. Sure. Alright, I just try and. Do I have to every turn re-grapple her?
I'm gonna ask Study for some clarification on that. Sorry.
Because I'm looking at the rules here, and it doesn't like when you click on grapple for in D&D Beyond, it doesn't say what you really do.
Yeah, it's saying the condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if an effect removes the grappled creature from the grapple. Let me look.
Like, as in, does that mean I effectively get to start mauling her, or?
Would his attack remove the grapple? Which you kind of think it would.
Because it also says if you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them. Does that mean I can replace one of my 2 multi-attacks, or do they only count as one attack?
Multi-attack is just one attack that uses your action. So, is grapple a bonus action? I don't think so.
Cool.
No, grapple would be an action.
Okay. So I'll determine that you could end the grappling action to attack with your multi-attack. However, she would still be prone.
I keep her grappled.
Okay.
To let the other guys see what they can do.
All right. So I'll just say that you're maintaining the same grapple on based on her turn. This now goes to Izzy.
Can I move here?
No, we'll say that one is not moved, but where you were
Okay.
before, you still have vision.
Alright. If I attack her with a dagger, I'd have advantage because she's prone.
Correct.
But the max I can do in that 6 damage. I'll just Ray of Frost.
Yep, roll with disadvantage.
22. And what's that? 17.
Hey, you hit roll damage.
2.
2. So you managed to find a tuft of fur open near where her shoulder is as you hit a ray of frost directly on there, chilling the section. You hear a little scream of pain as that's going on. Now I've got to select.
Her movement speed is also reduced by 10 feet until her next turn. My next.
Don't think she's going anywhere in a hurry. Hevel, it is your turn.
Smack her with my mace.
Yep, roll with advantage.
I did better this time. I got 23.
That hits. Roll damage.
5.
This time you notice the opening based on where Thanish has got the legs restrained and wrapped together as he's pulled them out from slightly underneath the fur, and you make a crack contact with your mace on both of her ankles as you hear her scream, get off me, you fools! Let me out!"
Stupid hag. That's all.
Pretty much. 1 sec. Okay, so this time she says, "If you're not going to get off me, I'm going to make you get off me." And Rock, you see from underneath the same glowing hand animation from from the hands by her side as she yells out her spell attack. One sec. So you see the beam come in and hit Rock expertly, square on him as he's still laying flat on top.
Right in the nads.
You take 20 necrotic damage as you
Told you,
cop
right
the
in the
full
nads.
brunt of the attack.
Jeez.
And you
Rock.
see...
Dies on top of her.
How much health was left in your bear form?
Bear had 14 and Rock had 2. So I take -4.
Okay, so you're not dead. You're currently unconscious on top of her as you transform back into this small dwarf.
Not
And-
small.
Sorry, you said it. One of the beams also shoots up and heads towards you as that contacts you and hits you for 8 necrotic damage.
No, I think that's the first time I got hit.
She lets out a sigh of relief. I knew that would work. And as she manages to just push this unconscious body of a dwarf off and start standing up.
Her feet are restrained though.
Her feet, yes, at that point she doesn't notice that her feet are restrained and she's unable to get a clear grip of what's going on. She is still prone for this turn. However, she is trying to kick and get the rope away. It rolls back around and it is now Thanesh, your turn.
All right, so I see her, see what she just did to Rock, and I am going to, with my quarterstaff, crack her as hard as I can.
Okay, roll with advantage.
Uh, 15.
That hits. Roll damage.
8 damage.
So as you pull the rope back with one hand and you crack down with your other, you manage to make square contact into her chest. You hear her reel out in pain. I keep this up and this will be the death of you all. However, she is a bit bruised, but still going on.
She's tough.
Yep, this is, and now it is Rock's turn. Please make a saving.
Natural 20, come on.
12. Whew.
Yep, so that's one save marker for you. Okay, and it is now Izzy's turn.
Right, so now Rock's small. Would I lose disadvantage or?
So she's still prone. So prone is the effect that gives you disadvantage on spell.
Okay. I shall then attack her in the head with a dagger.
Okay, roll with advantage.
First is 8. Next one is 19.
That hits. Roll damage.
Uh, 3 plus 2 is 5.
Okay. So as you lunge forward with your dagger, you manage to stab her right in the same shoulder that your your ray of frost hit. As your dagger seeps in, you hear her screech out with pain. However, still going. You see her struggling as she's trying to roll away and pull away from the rope, but not having much. Hevel, it is now your turn.
All right. Izzy has 7. And let me just double check.
Dinesh is 9. He can take a hit.
If okay, I'm going to cast Channel Divinity Preserve. So with this, I can present my holy symbol up to 10 HP divided among 30 feet. So, Apples, what's your dwarf's health pool?
What do you mean? Total?
Yeah, what's your total available health to a dwarf form?
Max 19.
19. Okay, so the max that I can do is 9 health to you. I'd like to give myself. Alright. I'll give you 8 health, and I'll give myself 2 health.
Okay. So Rock, you feel the stabilizing energy come out from Hevel as you start to wake. What's going on? You find yourself that you've been rolled over. You're prone in between this woman who's flailing around with her legs restrained and the table above. And I'm just going to try and move that and move that out so I can type. Okay. All right. You're now stable and conscious with 8 HP.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Now, breaking from restraint. She has to use an advantage to break from restraint. Correct?
She should have to use her action to do so.
Her action. Yes. Yeah. That's right. So she's going to flail around a bit. However, she then says, "If you can't make me free from here, I will take you to the grave with me." And as you see her shoot out the same scorching ray effect, however, this time you see 3 beams shoot off, one to Thanesh, Hevel, and Izzy. Okay. You manage to see contact with hang on, what color is that? Izzy, you feel contact of this beam shooting out from her body as it then contacts you in the chest. You take 3 necrotic damage. And then for you, Hevel, the same thing coming towards you, but this time it makes contact with your head, and you take 6 necrotic damage. So halve that for 3. However, the beam that was going to Thanesh actually shoots straight up into the roof above her and makes contact with a bunch of the rubble. This dislodges a rock that then falls on top of her head.
Her head or Thanesh's head?
Her head.
Her head.
Sounds like a one.
As you see this rock fall down and make contact with her head, this dizzies her. You think for a moment that she's not moving, but then she wakes and curses out loud. "Blast, that never happens to me." You can tell, though, that she's been shaken and bludgeoned by this rock that's then left some heavy grazing on her face. Thanesh, it is now your turn.
Alright. I am going to shout at her, "Hey, you should shut up," and then crack her again as hard as I can with my quarterstaff.
Yep, roll with advantage.
I rolled a 1 and a 16.
You,
So 20.
yes, so that hits roll damage.
3.
Okay, as you say your quip, you crack her across the face, the same location that she was hit in with the rock. You can see more blood shoot out from her, and in fact, a tooth, one of the few remaining, is dislodged and shot out to this. However, she is still conscious with rage burning from within.
Yeah, cool.
Rock, it is your turn. You're currently prone.
Is it an action to stand up, or it's just half a movement?
Half a movement.
I'd burn half my movement,
Yep.
which leaves me with 12.5 feet of movement. I cast Shalalala on my club and then attempt to whack her. Like, I assume it's a bit of a cut punt, but you know.
Okay, so roll with advantage.
Oh, nat 20 for the first one and 10, so we'll go with nat 20.
It doesn't get any better than that. Roll crit. So yeah, roll your
what's
d8.
that?
So roll your d8, and then double it, and then add your +2.
So 5, so 10 plus 2, 12.
Okay. So as you start standing up, you look towards this woman and you see this grave look on her face as she turns. She was not expecting you to be able to wake from such a. She was obviously blindsided by the healing wave that Hevel put out, as she didn't understand what that magic did. And as you turn to her, you take a full crack across her face. For the third hit, where the rock had gone on, you manage to knock her out completely as you see the light fade away from her eyes as she lays there limp and motionless beneath you.
I turn and say, she freaking deserved that.
She is now dead.
Good. She was annoying.
Okay, so XP, because I know you guys you all love that.
Yep.
While he's figuring that out, I turn to Hevel and go, God, can't you understand my bearish? I said, turn the fucking rats.
Turn the rats.
You're a fucking cleric. You can turn undead. The rats were skeletons.
Make them run.
Good reminders.
Look, it's late in the night. We're all probably not thinking clearly.
Please add each of you 290 XP, and I believe that
Whoa.
will level you up.
290? Jeez. She was stronger than the other two.
Yeah, her. I better check that I was actually doing the right one. I'm pretty sure I was doing the right one. But her challenge rating is 4.
Jesus.
Damn. Well, with that fucking spell, of course it was.
Yep, Master of Souls and a swarm of rats. There you go. You didn't hear me say what that name was.
No, I
anyway.
totally forgot it.
Okay. What do you do?
I go, hey guys, I'm a bit fucked. How about we chill out in this corner over here and I, start moving my way over to here to kind of get out of the way of the hallway. And I go, it's all good. We can all just rest up. I can cast Snare on the entrance. So anything that comes in, I've got it good.
Okay.
Do you all agree with my idea?
Yes.
You can do that.
So all of us get out of the way.
I want to inspect the lady on the table being sacrificed or whatever she did.
Lady.
Lady. Okay, yeah, roll perception for me,
I won't touch her.
please.
Not good. 2.
So you can clearly identify that this is a dead cadaver on a wooden.
But that's it. We just fought some dead rats, so
Say to Easy, I said, look, if you wanted to check stuff out, you really should turn on a light. And I touch one of the pillars and make a spot glow brightly to illuminate everything. And then I will check the dead old lady. And I'll give her a kick before I do anything. Like a real solid hard kick across the face. Or across the back of the neck, just to make sure she's really dead. And then I'll go through her stuff.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me, please.
Rolling like a boss all night until freaking now. 3.
3. So I'll say as you kick her, You can hear the very real crunch and grind of her spine. As you can tell, her neck has been completely broken by the repeated smashes of both yourself, the rock, and rock, as you've all made contact with the face. Upon inspection, you can see that she's just in this black robe. You do notice that under the table, a skull-headed flail that is very similar to the other agents of Merkel that you have fought in this area, that she had not yet wielded. However, you can't ascertain too much by patting her body because you've made a very quick check.
Yep. I'll stand back and wait for someone else to take a proper check and make it look like I was just a quick look.
I comment on Thanesh's poor visibility, and I use prestidigitation to make his light glow brighter.
You sort of change the color from a bright white light to something a bit more like an illuminating light. Doesn't change much, but it looks pretty.
Yeah, cool. Hevel, do you want to do the honors and see if she has gold?
I see if she has gold.
Okay, do a perception check for me, please.
I'm rolling so bad tonight. 9.
Hey, it's better than our two.
better than the others. So as you actually pat down through the body, you start to put in a bit more force and a bit more care in the look than what and as you reach into the inside of her right part of the robe, you actually manage to pull out a book, and the book is black leather on the cover, and it sports a tiny skull-shaped locking mechanism.
Interesting. So no gold.
She is not carrying any gold.
How am I gonna buy plate armor if this book better be worth something?
Carrying any jewels, any rings on the fingers?
I see Hevel pull out a book, and I am very interested.
Did you just knock out any gold teeth?
Unfortunately, no.
I throw the book to Thanesh and I'm like, here, you like books? Hold on to that.
I do like books, and I pull it open and start skimming through the pages.
As you attempt to pull it open, you find that it is clasped firmly shut by the locking mechanism.
Okay. I take a very careful look through her, and I look to see if I can find the key.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me, please.
14.
As you ruffle through her clothes, you can't find anything. You remove the hood and you see that she's quite old and frail, with a matted bed. You start searching through the hair, and you manage to pull apart one of the dreadlocks at the back, and you find a tiny key.
Ooh. I'll see if the key fits, and if it does, I will open the book.
Okay, the key fits.
Wait, is this such a good idea?
As you,
I hear Hevel's warning, and I agree. Perhaps this could wait.
So as you put the key in, and in your excited moment, you start getting a bit giddy as you love the books and you feel that you've been rewarded before. How better could your luck get? But this reminder comes out from Hevel to say, let's have a bit of caution. And as you sheepishly put the book down and nod in it.
Yep. Alright, so what type of book have I got? Just to describe the cover, because I'll add that to my possessions.
Yep, so it is a black leather covers, so it's bound black leather book, and it has a tiny skull-shaped locking mechanism on the side of it. And you have a key, a small key that fits into the lock.
I'd probably ask the others if they recognize the skull shape, e.g. owl.
Well, does it look like a skull from the flail?
Yeah. So as Thanesh had already ascertained by the flail that she was carrying under the, it is the same flail that the necromites of Merkul have. Therefore, you can ascertain that this book may have something to do with Merkul, but it is a similar skull. From that, you determine that she is a follower of Merkul.
Rock looks at them all and tells them to shut up. It's time for sleep. And gets over to the corner and starts preparing to cast Snare.
Okay.
So we're going to do a short rest.
No, we're going to try for a long one.
A long one here.
Because we all need to not be dead.
Okay, so just describe to me where you're all going to be. So Rock's described what he's doing. The rest of you guys, how are you looking to do this?
I'm going to sit behind Rock.
I'd like to cast the snare here, so anyone that walking past still can. But no one else, anyone who tries to come in will get snared.
I'd like to hang a blanket, because I have a blanket in my inventory. I want to try and hang, or if there's any like large cloths in the room, maybe with like the logo of the religion thing on it, then I'd probably try and string that across the doorway, just so if someone's walking past, they're not going to be able to see in.
We burnt the only one.
Okay, make a perception check for me, please.
10.
So as you look around the room, you can definitely tell that it is partially collapsed in one. You can't see any cloth anywhere. The corpse that is on the table just has some ragged pants that is covered with. The only thing that you determine that could probably be used as a cloth would be the cloak that the woman is wearing. What you do notice though is that there does appear to be large chunks of bone around mixed in with the rubble. You determine that this section or this room has probably been used as a way to store bodies or corpses at some point.
I'm going to make a suggestion and say, hey, would this room be the best room to be resting in? Perhaps we should go back to the room with the coffin where I found the books. There's a door and we could probably board that up a lot better.
Yeah, that sounds wise. Especially if there's no bodies in here.
I look at, Dinesh like, why you not say this earlier? And just start walking off to do that.
We did check the body of the person that was on the altar.
Izzy had a very brief look, but it hasn't been thoroughly examined.
It was a glance.
I might have it before we leave. I might have a quick look myself.
Yeah, of course.
Roll for initiation.
20, not natural.
As the corpse stands up, no, as you rifle through the tattered pants that are on the corpse, you find nothing of value. You can determine that this person has already been stripped of their life and all of their possessions that were.
Okay.
All right. So, yep. Just describe to me how you are getting to that room that you're in.
Slowly, because I assume the water's pretty much making me hold my head up like I need breath, and just wade my way through, just fully like, why the hell did they not say this earlier? Keeping a glance on this door over here as I do it.
I'll take a shortcut.
I'm going to send Fip up ahead.
Okay.
And to come back to me if she sees anything move. So I'm not going to look through her eyes, but her instruction is scout ahead and see if there's anything living, and if there is, come back and squawk in my ear.
Okay. Do a perception check with Fit for me, please.
21.
So as you fly Fip through the room with the altar and the two decks, and then comes through the hexagonal room, Fip sees no danger. It looks to be very clear and deserted as it was when you guys originally came through. However, Fip does notice that once she gets into, is it she?
Yeah, I would say she.
Okay. All right. When she gets into the hexagonal room, she notices a body collapse under where the tapestry was.
He lost against the mole.
It seems you guy managed to get a bit lost on the way out.
But we burnt the mold, so it couldn't have been the mold.
We did burn the mold.
Possibly
I
the mold
quickly-
came back.
Go up to him and go, "You should have ridden me, you stupid fucker." And I ravage his corpse.
Might want to be careful about ravaging his corpse.
Corpses, pockets.
I want to see what he's got in it. Just any good loot. Actually, would he have any? He's been on an altar.
So make a perception check for me, please.
15.
Okay. As you rifle through him, you don't find anything of value. However, you do find some papers that are tucked away in his back pocket, and they are some identification papers that identify him as Klim Jasso.
I take those, and as I come back, look the Nash. I go, "Hey, to Nash, this looks like the kind of crap you'd be interested in," and just hand it to him. And then turn around once I'm in, cast snare just in front of the door after we've, jimmied the door shut. And then I just find a nice spot over here to start resting in a long form, if possible.
Which way does the door open? Does it open in or out?
So this one comes in towards you.
Okay. The lid of the coffin, is it a full coffin lid, or is it partially smashed? I can't remember.
It is crumbled. There are some sections that would be considered as a large, or some medium-sized rocks, but it is mostly crumbled.
Alright, I'm gonna get the biggest pieces and use them to wedge against the door.
Okay. So you essentially are creating a stint to lock the door in place.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. You do so, and the door is currently stinted. If you tug on it a few times to try and pull it towards you, and you find that your stint is actually working quite well.
Cool.
Cool. We long rest, knowing that the door is very blocked and there's a snare just after it for anything that travels through.
Okay, so you've casted the snare on the other side of the door, or your current
on our side of the door.
on your side? Okay, yeah.
But
So
out of the way, so if the door swings open, it will not get the
No,
snare.
it only triggers when a small, medium, or large creature moves into the ground on the floor in the
Okay,
spell's
cool.
ring. So anything else can happen. Doesn't matter. It gotta be a creature. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I lay down and rest peacefully, knowing that we'll probably hear something moving the rocks. If not, it'll be upside down, hanging.
All right, I'll get a rest order, please, or a watch order.
Rock ignores it and just goes to sleep. He doesn't think it's worth resting.
I'll take-
keeping a watch.
I'll take first what?
So Rock is last, then Ash first.
I'll go second.
I got third.
All right, Dinesh, I'll get you to make a perception check for me, please.
I'm actually going to use Fip to make the perception check.
Okay.
It's got better hearing.
Better eyesight too.
Yeah, better eyesight. 17.
30 minutes pass, nothing. An hour passes, nothing. About the hour 30 mark, you hear the small scurrying of some tiny foot, like tiny feet that belong to animal, just come scratching past. A little scratch at the door and a sniff, but nothing more, and then just wanders off into the night. And then at the 2 hour mark, nothing.
Cool.
Okay. Next was Izzy.
Alright, I'll wake Izzy.
Me.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
it's Hevel.
sorry, Hevel. I'll wake Hevel and say fit herd a small creature, we think.
Yep.
Otherwise, didn't hear anything. And then I'll pull out my bedroll down the bottom here, and I'll go to sleep. And I'll make fit disappear into the pocket dimension.
Hevel, what are you doing for your watch? You did.
I'm watching the door.
I'll get you to make a perception check for me, please.
Natural 1.
All right. So as you're watching the door, you find yourself just sort of zoning in and out as the time passes. You feel like you're back in those classes where you're going in the chapel, and they're teaching you about what were they teaching you? You can't quite remember because you were zoning in and out like this before. However, as you hear a bit of a groan and a grumble, Izzy is starting to wake, ready for his watch as he relieves you. You notice nothing else.
All clear, is he?
I'm just gonna lie here, watching the door. I'll keep flicking a coin up in the air and being bored.
I'll get you to make a perception check for me, please.
9.
So much goes passing without anything happening. However, towards the end of your watch, you hear a faint little scurrying and a bit more aggressive scratching at the door. You can tell that the scratching is small. It comes from a very small animal, as they're quite light and quick and fast. However, they're unable to get through the door currently, and the gap below is not big enough for it, and it just scurries off again.
Sounds like a rat. I don't like rats.
All right, your time passes and your watch ends without any action.
Cool.
All right, Rock.
Rock is fully believing that everything about this will be secure, so he doesn't really bother watching. He sits there and he, plays around with all these knickknacks and all that, not paying attention.
Okay. Roll perception with disadvantage for me, please.
2 + 2, 4.
So as you're playing around with your knickknacks, you're making a bit of sound on the ground as they're hitting the floor, but nothing too much. You hear some shuffles go past. You're not sure whereabouts they're coming from, whether they're going from north to east or east to north, or what's happening. And you swear that you hear a bit of a splash, but other than that, nothing else.
I wake everyone up at the end of the long rest. It was hopefully successful.
It was. You were not disturbed in your sleep. So please complete your long rest and level up to level 3. And we would be ending this session there. Unless you guys want to keep going. I mean, I can keep going for another half hour.
I'm good tonight.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I think that's a good time to end anyway, because you probably want to have a look through your level 3 stuff.
Yeah.
Now, let me know if there's anything special that I need to be aware of when it comes to this sort of stuff. Like, as in what spells you're going to be getting, or if there's any feats or anything like that. Although feats are what, level 5?
4.
Next
Four.
level.
Okay.
I've switched around some of my spells as I can prepare them on a long rest, so I've already done that.
You guys remembered how to add your hit die?
Oh yeah. So by the way, on your dice to level up, now it's whatever your character says. So that could be a 1d8 or a 1d6 or something like that. You can re-roll a 1 if you get a 1 first. But you
Should my
please take
health
this.
be automatically moving when I level up? Because it jumped up to 18 by itself.
It'll jump up. It'll automatically add your Constitution modifier. So it will add the 1 or the 2 or perhaps 3 if your Constitution is high enough. But you will need to roll your hit die and then add that on top. So if you hit manage HP, in the rolled HP, for instance, mine was 12. I rolled a 4, so I've changed that to 16. And then hit apply.
Because I get 3 per level, 2 from Constitution and 1 from being a dwarf.
Yep. And then
That makes sense. I thought 19 to 22. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good jump. But I still get D8, do I?
yeah. Reroll ones because rolling ones suck.
7.
Nice.
Yep.
So the rolled HP I just set to, it's currently 13. I add the 7 to it.
Correct. Correct.
6. Not so bad this time.
Yeah, it makes up for the last one.
What'd you get last time?
You got like a 2.
Oh, yeah. So I get to add 2 new spells. Bonnie, you're going to like this.
So in order to like keep track of it in D&D Beyond, shall I use, because I had a rolled HP of 12 and I was on 16 health, given that my...
We've long rested anyway, so you go back to
Oh,
max.
no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the HP and how I add it with my like
Yeah,
rolled
so
die. So should I
add whatever
use...
you just rolled to that number is what I
Yes.
just did.
Yeah, so should I use the HP modifier or
No,
the override HP?
you change the rolled HP value. So whatever that
okay.
is, delete that away and add your new rolled HP total.
Yeah, so your original rolled HP probably said, what, 14? Because if you were 16 before?
It was at 12, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just got what could possibly be the most OP spell ever, Healing Spirit.
That sounds cool.
Pretty much I call forth a spirit that lasts for a minute, and until this spell ends, whenever you're a creature can see moves into this spirit space for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, you can cause a spirit to restore 1d6.
That's cool.
Yeah, it doesn't say I can only do it once per turn.
Concentration up to 1 minute.
Yeah, I think that means I can just put a spirit there and we can all just fucking in and out of it and get a 1d6 each turn.
So it moves into the spirit space for the first time. So the spirit just stands there. So you have to tell people to move into it. As a bonus action on your turn, you can move the spirit up to... Okay, cool. So you can do actions afterwards, provided they're not concentrations. And then you can also move the spirit as a bonus action.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a reverse moonbeam.
Yeah.
I'm slightly confused by Hellish Rebuke. It says in the top bit and in your description it does 3d10 fire damage, but in the actual description it reads if it fails a dexterity saving throw, it takes 2d10 fire damage. Which is it? 2 or 3?
So it says point your finger. You point your finger and the creature that damaged you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. The creature must make a dex saving throw. It takes 2d10 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. And it says at higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of second level or higher, the damage increases by 1d10 for each slot above the first. Now, since it is a so it's a first level evocation, but it is a level 2 spell, a second level spell. You have to use a second level slot. So that immediately adds 1d10 to it, which brings it up to 3d10. But each one above that, so if you cast it as a third level spell, you would then add 2 more d10 to it. So it'd be 4d10 in total.
Right, so because I get that, it says I can actually, you can cast Hellish Rebuke a second level, just a second, once per long rest. 5th, you can cast darkness once per. So
Yeah.
I can use that, and that would be a 2d10, not 3d10.
No. So it'd still be 3d10 because it has to. So you can only use it once per long rest, but it still takes up a spell slot. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Yep.
Because you're still casting it. Now I'll just
Does it
double
though?
check.
It's got a thing under feats.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it a feat that gave it to you?
Well, it's part of my allegiance to dragons and shit, I think.
Okay.
I don't know, it's just got an ability that where I can use it once per long rest. So I could probably use that, and I could cast it as a spell again, I suppose. It does make sense of why I'd have the once per long rest ability if I couldn't do it without being a spell.
Hang on. Let's look it up. Tiefling's Hellish Rebuke. Okay, so it doesn't take up a spell slot. You can use it even if you don't have any spells. However, the thing because when you select the spell, it says like next to the cast part, it's got a level second. At that point, it is treated as a second level spell, so that's why it says 3D.
Yep. So,
yeah.
Technically, it is a level 2 spell for me, and I can't use the level 1 version.
It doesn't use a spell slot. Now, that might change when you get third level spells. Your feat may automatically upgrade that to a third level spell. I'm not sure what it will do.
Yep.
But if it does, then it'll change to be a third level, and then you get 4 d10s.
Yep. Hey, Daddy, you want to be on fire?
Hey? Oh, why
I
do
can
wanna
now
be on
do fire. You're redundant.
Oh, I totally forgot that I still have my my breath attack.
Did you use it though?
No, I haven't used it in here because you guys have always been in front of me.
Someone else is resistant to fire.
I am.
So, Fuzzy, on the Infernal Legacy and your features and traits, you can click the little once per long rest button
Yeah.
for your Hellish Rebuke. But it says first level. I don't know what that means. If that means it's only going to cast as a level 1.
It says it's a second level when I click on, but it does say first level evocation. So
I think. Yeah, I would say that if I use that as an ability and not a spell, I can only use a first level. But I can cast it as a level 2 spell, which would give me the 3d10. Is that?
No, it because it's a feat or evocation, it doesn't take up a spell.
Yeah.
You can only cast it once per long rest, and whether you've got spell slots available or not, it will still cast, but it's only ever going to cast as a second level at this point in time. It might change when you level up or something like that. Okay, so just check each of your HP. So Hevel, you're at 24. Izzy's at 22. Rock's at 29. And Thanesh is at 22 max, although your current says 15.
Because he's dead.
Maybe.
He didn't heal.
He might not have reset his HP after leveling up.
I have not reset my HP yet, so
He has forgotten to click the long rest button.
Yes, 'cause-
I have clicked it now.
There you go.
Alright, I am going to head off to bed.
No worries. So I picked a new spell. I only got one second level spell, and I did grab another first. I didn't realize it's a ritual cast one as well, which is equally as awesome. But Blondie, you'll like this one, which is Tense's Floating Disc. So I can create a horizontal plane of force, 3 feet in diameter and 1 inch thick, and it floats 3 feet above the ground, and it can hold 500 pounds of weight. So if we can get that suit of plate mail, we can levitate it and carry it out of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Also, if like we decide to leave the plate mail behind and we capture somebody, we can obviously just sling them over the disc and drag them out that way too.
Yeah, but that's not as fun as carrying out all the loot.
I know.
I'm thinking of grabbing hold person so we could potentially paralyze a person, throw the loot on top of the person, drag them all out. We got enough rope.
So prepared spells. So how many spells can I have prepared? Oh, prepared 4 out of 5. Oh, okay. So that goes across levels. Cool. So again, I can cast every spell in my spell book, which is ridiculous. I have 5 ritual spells. Oh, I should be... I might do that when we come back. Sure, remember. I should cast Detect Magic to see if I can detect anything magical near the 2 guys that we killed. And also near the lady that we killed as well.
Wait. Oh, you can do detect magic now.
I could do it before. I just totally forgot that I had it.
Okay.
And I picked up Hold Person for a 2nd level spell.
It's pretty good. Now I've got 6 spell slots. I feel like I'll be able to use them.
That nat one she rolled was pretty brutal. And actually, you guys are so lucky because she rolled really bad on a bunch of the multi attacks with the with that beam, where she managed to miss like more than half of you each of the time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh no, Apple's. I could have learned a spell called Enlarge or Reduce. He could transform into a bear and I could double his size. And his weight would be multiplied by 8.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would make the little fella happy.
What spells did you pick up, Tabondi?
I'm still kind of picking my last one. I rearranged my spells a little bit. So now I've got 2nd level spell slot. Prayer of Healing. So up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can range to gain hit points equal to 2d8 plus your spell casting modifier. So AoE heal. I automatically got given Spiritual Weapon, which is pretty cool. You create a floating spectral weapon.
Yeah, that is cool. I've seen that
Yeah,
used in
1d8
streams.
plus spell casting modifier. So 1d8 plus 3 damage it does.
You get to pick your form too. What weapon are you going to pick?
A mace.
Mace?
I'm a cleric.
Just saying, the on Critical Role, one of the players used it there, and she has a giant floating lollipop that she uses as a mace to smash. I just thought that was quite funny.
Another one I've picked up is called Enhance Ability. So you touch a creature, bestow magical enhancement, choose one of the following effects: Bear's Endurance, advantage on Constitution checks, and 2d6 temporary hit points. Bull Strength, Cat's Grace, Dexterity, Eagle's Splendor, Charisma, Fox Cunning, Intelligence, Owl's Wisdom. So
Yeah, nice. We must have been in this dungeon like relatively late at night, James. Because what, we didn't enter it until what, midnight or 1 o'clock?
So you guys entered the bathhouse. It was well after midnight, so it was around about 1 o'clock or so. And then you've gone in, done your fighting, and you've done your rest. So when you exit, if you do exit, will be daylight.
Yeah. I'm just thinking it'd be almost midday. If not midday, when we wake up.
I thought that maybe turning myself or anyone invisible might be cool, but I've grabbed whole person instead.
Oh, I grabbed hold person.
Ah,
You can switch if you want. Or I can switch. Or we could both just have an amazing CC.
So that fight against that woman could
Hmm.
have been a lot harder because she doesn't know fireball.
So one of the guys in the Twitch chat said that his party got hit by the fireball. I was
Yep.
wondering where that might have been coming out, and then when she started blasting all these other bits and pieces, I thought that perhaps it could have been her.
Well, yeah, she's got another spell called Scorching Ray, and I felt, given that you guys were level 2, I was just going to make her cast that and do that off the hit. However, Fireball does 8d6.
Oh, I know.
And you guys have to do saves.
Yep.
And
And it
I
blows
just-
up everything in the room.
yes, and I just did a roll and just to see what it would be. And if you guys failed your dex saves on that, you would have been taking 31 fire damage
Shit.
each of you.
I've got resistance to fire, and I think
I do.
Izzy
Izzy
does
does.
as well. So like that's 15 damage, and then if we
Where'd you get
saved
your
it,
resistance?
I am a gold
Yeah.
dragonborn.
However, this Master of Souls has an ability called Grave Magic that says when she casts a spell that deals damage, it can change the spell's damage type to necrotic
Oh,
if
yeah.
they wish.
Necrotic fireball? Oh.
Yep.
Oh, you were very generous.
Oh, I wanted to keep it at least somewhat fair, and I expected her to down at least 2 of yous, but she kept whiffing the hit on the other guys who don't have much HP, and plus Hevel being resistant.